Today we are going to take the topic naming of organic compounds. Naming of organic compounds. Prior to this time, we've considered the functional groups, alkyl groups. Then we've looked at all these homologous series. We talked about them. But now we want to discuss the naming of the organic compounds. There are rules that govern the naming of the compounds. The first rule says that you must identify, rule number one, identify the functional group of the given compound. So when a compound is given to you to name, the first thing is to identify the functional group that is present in that compound, because that is what will tell you the homologous series or the name, the family name of that compound. For example now, assuming I'm having this CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, CH3, OH, and I ask you to name this compound. The first thing you will consider is this: what is the functional group present in this compound? And then you have to look at this place now. The double bond is not here, triple bond is not here, OH, hydroxyl group is here. So because there is presence of OH in this compound, it means that this compound belongs to the alkanol group. So you first of all know the family name of that compound. As people will say, you first of all know the words, the family name of that compound from the functional group that is present in that compound. So the first thing is to identify the functional group of the given compound. Number two is to number the identified longest chain. You number the identified longest chain of carbon in the compound. And when you are numbering, your numbering must favor the side that's very close to the functional group that is present in the compound. Take for example now, look at this compound now. We have been able to establish that this compound belongs to the alkanol family. Okay? Now, if you have to number the identified longest chain there now, we start by saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 straight carbons in this compound. But look at your hydroxyl group, the OH is attached to carbon number 4. So I've numbered it this way, then if I number it backward as well, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, by numbering it backward now, it shows that it's attached to, the OH is attached to carbon number 2. So in this case now, we will favor the backward numbering. Now look at another example. Assuming I'm having CH3, CHOH, CH2, CH3 now. Now let's start from rule number 1. Rule number 1 says, identify the functional group of the given compound. Looking at this compound now, there is presence of OH there, which means that it belongs to the alkanol group, the alkanol family. Now number 2 now, if you number it now, going to rule number 2 now, to number the identified longest chain, you start by saying 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth numbering is telling us that the OH is attached to carbon number 2. But if you number it from the back, 1, 2, 3, 4. This backward number is telling us that this OH is attached to carbon number 3. So which one is probably 2 or 3? Go for the 2. So we will remove this. That means we are going to follow what? Forward numbering for this one. Because this OH is attached to carbon number 2. Do you understand now? So, assuming now we want to name this one now, we want to give this one name. Number 1, we have been able to establish that it belongs to an alkanol family because of the presence of the OH hydroxyl group there. Now, 2, we have been able to say that yes, this OH is attached to carbon number 2. Then you have been told when you have 5 carbon in an alkanol, you have been told that is pentanol. If it is an alkene now, you have 5 carbon, that is pentene. If it is alkane now, you have 5 carbon, that is a pentane. Now having 5 carbon here means that this one is a pentanol. But what type of pentanol? This attachment will tell us this OH is attached to carbon number 2. So the name of this one becomes pentan-2-ol. This 2 is telling us that OH is attached to carbon number 2. That makes this one to be pentan-2-ol. Okay? Now if you look at this one now, we want to name this compound now. Rule number 1 says identify the functional group of the given compound. So you just look at this compound. Then come to this table now. Which of these functional groups is present in this compound? If you look at it very well, you know that this is OH. So looking at this now, you know that it belongs to this family. And the name of the family is alkanol. That's the name of the family. Now, we have been able to know the name of the family, but what is the name of the compound? That leads us to number 2 rule. Number the identified longest chain. So we have to number it now. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 carbons. And from what we have been taught, if you have 4 carbons, that will give you butane. If it is alkane, it is butane. If it is alkene, it is butane. Now it is an alkanol family now. That means what? Butanol. But what type of butanol is this one now? Now, because this one is attached to carbon number 2 now, it becomes what? Or is it butan-2-ol? That is the name now. Butan-2-ol. That is rule number 2. Do you understand now? So we go to rule number 3. Rule number 3 is addressing a situation whereby we have substance and functional group in a compound. Now, what are substances? Every other attachment to the carbon atoms, apart from these ones, are regarded as substance. For example, now you can have chlorine attached to carbon atom. You can have bromine. Let me start from bromine. You can have chlorine. You can have benzene, that's CH3. You can have ethene, that's C2H5. You can have fluorine, and so on and so forth. So if you have any of these ones attached to a carbon atom, that is a substituent. So when you have number 3 now, rule 3 is saying when a substituent, or let's say when substituent and functional group exist in the compound, what do? Your numbering, start your numbering from the side of the functional group. So your functional group must be considered before you look at the substituents. It's just like when you want to employ, and then you have a graduate, and then you have an ex-graduate coming for the same job. So if considerably you want to look at it now, you want to favor somebody who is coming as a graduate, maybe a DS holder, before you now look at an ex holder. That's what we are having here. What we are saying is, for example, as soon as I'm having a compound as this, CH2, I said this CH, I'm having chlorine here, CH2, CH, I'm having OH here, then CH3. Look at this compound now. You have to name this compound. He said, give their impact name. That's what the question is saying. Give their impact name of the compound below. How do we name this compound? We start from rule number 1. Rule number 1 says, identify the functional group of the given compound. So look at this compound now. What is the functional group you have in this compound? This is a substance, it's not a functional group. Now, this is the functional group OH. So, because of the presence of OH, it means that this one is what? It's an alkanol family. notice that from rule number 1, this is an Akanor family. Now, rule number 2 now says number that identifies longest seed. But now you have to consider rule number 3 now. If you have to number now, you have to look at the side where you have the OH. This is OH at the other side. This is chlorine. So you have to start your numbering so that it will favor the hydroxyl. So I'll start my numbering from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 carbons there. That's pentanol. But because the OH is attached to carbon number 2, that is pentan 2-ol. Okay? But now you have an attachment, a substance attached to carbon number 4. That is 4-chloro. So the name of the compound becomes 4-chloropentan 2-ol. 4-chloropentan 2-ol. Look at this now. Assuming we have this CH3, CH, OH. We have the OH here. Then we have the CH, bromine. Then CH3. Look at this compound now. You have to name this compound. Let's start from rule number 1. Rule number 1 says what? Identify the functional group of the given compound. So look at this compound. The functional group is still OH. And that means it is an Akanor family. So how many carbons do we have? That's number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons. That's what? Butanol. But if you have to start the numbering now, look at your OH is at this side, your bromine is at the other side. So your numbering must favor this one. If you start from the back, 1, 2, 3, your OH will be 3, which is very long. But if you start from here now, 1, 2, that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. What type of butanol is that one? That's butan 2-ol. But the bromine is attached to carbon number 3. That would be 3 bromo. So that's 3 bromo butan 2-ol. That's the name of that compound. You may be wondering how come I'm using OH all the time. What if we have another compound which is not OH? It is not an Akanor compound. You can have this CH3, CH, CH2, CH, CH3. So I'm having my bromine here. Now they said, give the IUPAC name of this compound now. How do you give the name for this compound? Rule number 1 says what? Identify the functional group of the given compound. So look at the compound. What's the functional group here? This is not a functional group. You know, it's a substance. But this is a functional group. Double bond. So there is presence of double bond in that compound. That means that compound belongs to what? The alkanes family. So it's an alkane. Then if you have to start your numbering now, rule number 2 says number the identified longest chain. Don't forget number 3. You have to start from the side that favors the functional group. So I'm mapping myself in a functional group. So I'll start from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon, that's butene. But what type of butene? The functional group is at the back of carbon number 1. That is both 1 in. In means alkene, double bond. If it is triple bond, that would be ine. Now this bromine is attached to carbon number 3. Abi, that would be 3 bromo. That's 3 bromo both 1 in. That is the name of that compound. Do you understand now? Now let's go to rule number 4. Now rule number 4 is talking about when you have only substance, no functional group in the compound. So rule number 4 says when 2 or more substances exist in a compound, what do? We use what? Alphabetical order. So when you have 2 or more substances in a compound, then arrangement is done in alphabetical order. We arrange alphabetically. Now, what is the alphabetical ladder of the substance? The first one is bromine, that is bromo, that's letter B. The next one is chlorine, that is letter C, chloro. The next one is ethyl. You know the ethyl is C2H5. After ethyl, you have fluorine, that is fluoro. And after that one, you have iodine, that's iodo. Then you can have methyl. Methyl is CH3. So, it's just like the same thing. All of you are in SS3. And then you want to write WAEC, external examination. They are not going to arrange you by your performance. This boy is the best student in the class, he must be number 1. This girl is the second best student in the class, he must be number 2. No, we are going to arrange you alphabetically. Maybe Adewale Bangoshe will be number 1. She2 will be number 3. So we are going to arrange alphabetically. That's what is happening here. For example now, look at this. You have to name this compound. Now here we have chlorine. Now here I'm having bromine. And you have to name this compound. Let's start from the first rule. Rule number 1 says what? Identify the functional group of the given compound. May I ask you, what is the functional group in this compound? Look at it very well. If you look at it now, no double bond, no triple bond, no OH, and none of this one is there. So, because there is no functional group there, it means that it belongs to what? The alkanes. Only the alkanes are without functional group. So that means this one is an alkane family. So establish it as what? Alkanes family. Following number 1. Now, number 2, I want to number. Now, by the time I number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons. 5 carbon alkanes. That is what? That is pentane. But look at it now. You have a substance, chlorine, chloro. That's letter C. You have another substance, bromine. That's bromo. So, where do we start our numbering from? We have to start our numbering from the back. Because letter B comes before C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that means the name of this one what? This bromine is attached to the second carbon. That will be 2 bromo. This chlorine is attached to the fourth carbon. That's 4 fluoro. Then the 5 carbon straight carbon of alkane is what? Pentane. So the name of this compound is 2 bromo 4 fluoro pentane. Do you understand now? Do you understand? That is that.
Okay.
Now, let's look at these 2 examples together. The question says, give the impact names of the compounds below. Give the impact names of the compound below. If you check your JAMPAS question, you will see these 2 questions there. Now, in the first one, let's look at the first one. We follow the rule. Rule number 1 says, identify the functional group of the given compound. So looking at this compound now, what is the functional group in this compound? Look at it. No double bond, no triple bond, and there's none of this one there. So that means it is what? It is an alkane family. It belongs to an alkane family. It's an alkane. Then we go to number 2. Number the identified longest chain. Now we have to number. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm having 6 straight carbons there. But you see my software now, one is attached to carbon number 2, another one is attached to carbon number 3. If I start from the back, you know it will not be 2, 3, it will be probably 1, 2, 3, it will be 4, 5. So you can see that the forward numbering is good, and we are going to go with that one. So you have to do that one now, because this one is attached to carbon number 2, you say 2 methyl. You have another one attached to the third carbon, 3 methyl. But instead of writing, because methyl, they are the same kind. Instead of separating 2 methyl, 3 methyl, it is advisable and preferable to say 2, 3. Just write as 2, 3, di. That means 2 methyl. Which means that there is a methyl group attached to carbon number 2. And there's another methyl group attached to carbon number 3. That's why you have it as 2, 3 dimethyl. Then 6 straight carbons is what? Hexane. That's what this name is. 2,3-dimethyl hexane. Let's look at the second one. In the second one, go by the rules. Rule number 1 says identify the functional group of the given compound. Now, looking at this one now, you can tell us the functional group of this compound. Thank you. You can see this is the functional group. That is alkene, double bond. That means this compound belongs to what? Alkenes family. So it's an alkene. So we have to able to establish that now. So if you have to start an number now, you know we must start from that side that favors the functional group. Since we have 4 carbons there now, that's what? Butene, abi? But because the double bond is attached to carbon number 1, that's butane. Then now you have the methyl group attached to carbon number 3. That will be 3-methyl. So the name becomes 3-methyl butane. Do you understand now? So having known this one now, I will give you exercises that you are going to do as assignment. Thank you.